Welcome to Vision One Media Artist Shoutout. Today I am joined by one of my favorite people in Atlanta, a very special guest, an incredibly talented singer, and just an all-round wonderful person, Mr. Timothy Beekman.
Hey, that was so sweet of you. Thank you so much. Oh my God. Stop it. Keep going. No.
So welcome. Thank you for coming and joining us.
So welcome. Hey. That was my best impression. I'm sorry.
So welcome and tell us a little bit, tell the audience a little bit about you.
My name is Timothy Beekman. I live here in Atlanta, but I've been all over the place. I've lived in Seattle. I went to school back in LA. I lived in New York for a while until that little pesky COVID hit. And now I'm here in Atlanta doing the thing. Singer, actor, musical theater person. Yeah, just like hitting the pavement still every day.
That
Doing the
hustle,
work,
that
you know?
grind, come on.
It never stops. It never ends. Yeah.
So what was it that first got you interested in music first and foremost? And I know that you're very into musical theater and you've followed it quite seriously. What was it that then got you into musical theater?
Yeah, I started in choir, honestly, when I was like 4. I mean, really, really young. And starting in like 2nd or 3rd grade, my teachers started to submit me for like honor choir groups. And I started to get them. And I was like, oh, is this like a thing that I can like do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I sang in choir until maybe like in middle school. My teacher put together this little like Christmas production and she was like, we're going to sing and act at the same time. And I was like, I don't know what that means, but yeah, you know? Yeah. It was like this like 20-minute piece about the night before Christmas or something. Mm-hmm. And I was cast as the father, you know, the one that like bursts open the shutters to see what was the matter.
Oh, okay.
Thing, you know? Mm-hmm. And I burst those shutters open.
Yeah.
And there was applause, a standing ovation. And I was like, whatever this is, I have to do it again.
I want more.
I need more of this.
Okay.
Since then, I just I dove into musical theater and then continued singing choir. I sang in vocal jazz groups for a long time. I grew up in church, so I was doing like worship band all the time. I mean, just anywhere I could get out and sing, I did. Karaoke, if I needed to, rock band on the PlayStation 2, like whatever it was, you know what I mean? I was singing. And I thought it was so cool that I could do that, but not as just me. I could dive into the lives of other people and explore their issues, their problems, their joys, their sorrows, their success and failures through music, you know? I thought that was just the coolest.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just have never stopped.
So do you have a specific person or character or role that you've played on stage that you've really resonated with or that you really enjoyed?
I feel like, of course, there's always something that I find in a character. Because of who I am, I usually play a lot of comedy roles, you know what I mean? So I'm usually doing just like funny, crazy stuff. But there are definitely roles like, I don't know, let's think like the last 5 years. I know you know the last 5 years, right?
Yes.
I've never been able to do that show, but like as soon as someone's ready to cast fat people in that show, let's go.
Yes.
Because fat people have problems and want to sing about them too, you know?
Right.
And every single song in that show is so human and so nuanced. And so you can't not relate to every word, you know? So I just like will win Tony Awards in my car singing them instead.
Yeah. I always love watching your Instagram videos where you're like singing in your car or what stands out so much to me is the first time that you heard, what was it? Sweetest Pie?
Sweetest Pie. Oh, that Megan Thee Stallion song?
Megan Thee Stallion song, and you
my God.
gave us the little like rundown about how you felt about it. But I love those videos that you do.
What does she say? Like, listen, I love her, and sure, she can write some lyrics, but she does say something about put your Tootsie Roll in my fudge round or something. And I was like, Megan, was that the lyric? We were in the studio. That came out. And we said that's the one. That's the one.
Because I could just imagine you like singing along to it in your car, just like and then just being like, oh.
I am not a prude. I really am not. But fudge rounds, the fudge round was rough for me to
That was
swallow.
that was interesting. So being a musician, being a singer, what do you think helped to contribute to you creating your own sound and your own voice?
You know, I feel like I'm still finding that, or it changes, honestly. I think there was a long period of time where I tried to force myself into some kind of box that was sellable or swallowable, or that people knew what that brand was. But, you know, I don't have just like a standard pop voice or a rock voice or even a musical theater voice. Like it kind of fluctuates somewhere in between. And so there's not a specific song or sound that necessarily sounds right. Because I like leaned more into the theater side of thing, I never continued like playing instruments. So when I write music, I can only write what I hear in my head and my lyrics, and I don't know how to necessarily translate that into instrumental sounds. And every song that I write sounds different up in here. You know what I mean? It changes all the time.
Yeah.
And so that's been something that's been interesting to navigate. You know, like how much do you change yourself or narrow in on something that is sellable or brandable in this industry?
Yeah.
Because one would argue that's very important. I would argue that's very important, right?
Yeah.
People need to know who you are and what you do and what to expect from you.
Yeah.
But also, how much then are you willing to let go?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like that has been in flux for a while. And my performance style is it's big, and I like to put on a show, and I like to be funny and interact with people and do like these big kind of show-stopping numbers.
Yeah.
But also like when I write music, I'm writing a ballad. I'm writing something sad.
It's
I'm writing, you know what I mean? Like I'm kind of like Adele. I feel like, you know, anytime you see an interview of Adele, she's like cackling and making jokes and whatever. And then you listen to her album and you just like are sobbing. And it's like, I don't understand this
what
dichotomy.
Right,
you
the
know
dichotomy, like two different people. Yeah.
And that's how I feel too. So I'm not out here writing like club bops, but that is what I want to sing. But then when it's my turn, I'm writing something about like, you know, I think the last song I wrote was about different kinds of wine and how each one makes me feel. And when I'm feeling this type of way, I go to this bottle. And when I feel this type of way, I go to this bottle. And like, that's fucking sad. Sorry, language. I'm so sorry. That's sad. And that's not like who I am on my everyday, you know?
Right.
So it also depends what I'm using my voice for at the time. Am I using it to process? Or am I using it to escape?
Yeah.
You know? Did that answer your question, or did I just ramble for 6 minutes?
No, I like that. Also, I'm like, I really want to hear this bottle of wine song. I love that. I love the idea
cute,
of that.
I won't lie. It's like, I mean, I won't sing it for you. I'll sing for you later. But this is Pinot Noir. She makes me feel like a star when I start to fade into the background. So it's like every different glass has a different effect. And it's very storytelly. It doesn't follow any sort of like AB format necessarily at all. It's just like, this is how I feel when I'm writing this song. And so this is how I'm going to sing it. And is it, you know, conceivable for an audience? I don't know. But that's not really my job to decide either. You know what I mean? Yeah,
yeah. So do you find that your songwriting process is different every time? Do you follow sort of your own recipe or does it sort of just come as it goes? Or
I think I just have to follow inspiration when it hits. And even if it's a bad idea, you know what I mean? You have to get the bad ones out to get to the good ones, right? And have you ever read Big Magic, the book Big Magic?
No.
The author is talking about how ideas, creativity, they're these like invisible bubbles that float around. Like they already exist and they're just trying to find a host. And they choose you, and that's inspiration. And then you either follow through with that inspiration and bring that thing to life, or you don't and you let it sit, and then it leaves and finds somebody else who's going to bring it to fruition. So like, have you ever started to write a song and you're so inspired about it, and then you leave it and try to revisit it 6 months later and you're like, it's not there. Like what?
It's not the same.
I can't get to that place again that I was when I was writing this the first time. And that's because it found somebody else to
Right.
inspire, you know? So
And then 6 months after that, you'll be listening to TikTok and be like, I definitely
like,
started writing that song.
That. Damn it. Yeah. And so anytime something does kind of hit, even if I don't really understand how it's going to sound or the story I'm telling exactly, or, you know, I'll just start to write.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a line, a chorus, a melody line, a something.
Yeah.
And if I don't know where it's going to go, at least I've done that part.
Right.
So that it's on paper, and then I can kind of go back and look at it again a day, 2 days later and be like, am I still inspired by this? And if I am, then great. Then I sit down and go, okay, where does this go? Right. So for me, it is a lot of, it's that dichotomy. Like I'll write like almost like Bo Burnham comedy type stuff that's about my life, you know, and maybe kind of poking fun at myself, like the very theatery in that respect. Or it's these like ballads. It's these like songs that are really my deepest, darkest secrets. And so now I'm trying to find a way to like merge those two things together.
Right.
You know what I mean? How do I create my dancing on my own? That Robin song, you know what I mean? How do I create that? How do I bring those two worlds together?
Yeah.
You know?
The world needs more of those songs. I mean, everyone loves dancing on my own. That kind of vibe, like sad girl vibes, but in like I'm going to just
because I don't
do
just
it
go out
anyway.
and dance when I'm feeling good. I'll also go out and dance when I'm not feeling good. And I'm like, I need to do something else, right? And so I don't necessarily just want to like sit in my car and cry when I'm not feeling great. I want to do something about it.
And neither do other people. So it's the music that we make that hopefully reaches other people, because I mean that's what it is. It's a international, what do they say, international language? Universal
language. That's it. Yeah.
even the aliens understand it, you know.
But how cool too that music, this is the thing that gets me, and like I really can't stop obsessing over it, is that music, you can't touch it, you can't see it, you can't smell it, you can't, like, it's not tangible at all, but it has such tangible effect on everyone, on every single person, you know what I mean? And it's just a sound that exists in the ether, and we've somehow figured out over time what sounds sound good together, and what other sounds can we create using all these other things, and we can make somebody feel a type of way, putting all this invisible nothing onto a
CD or
MP3 file, whatever we're using. I don't even know what we're using now, but you know, and I think that is so cool. It really comes from nothing.
Yeah, I think we're blessed to be able to do what we do. Well, before we wrap up this little artist shout out, can you tell everyone watching your social media handles where they can find some videos of you doing some music? And is there anything that's coming up that you're working on musically that you're excited about?
Yeah. I am doing a huge New Year's party at Ground and Pound Coffee in Alpharetta.
I'm acting like I'm excited, but I know I'm
you
already
know
invited.
this already. You know this. I'm really excited about it. It's the first time since the shutdown, since I've really been able to like craft a show and do the thing, you know? And I'm so excited to get back into that space and to just like make people feel good. That's all I want to do is make people feel good and feel good about themselves, you know? And so if I can go to an 11 and like go insane and go crazy, then maybe like Susan can go to a 7 and find some way to, you know what I mean? Like find a way to let go a little bit, or find another reason that maybe she can give herself some grace, or find whatever it is, right? So I'm really excited to be back in that space again. So that's my next big shebang.
Fantastic.
You can find me at Gleefully Tim, GLEEFULLY Tim, on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter and all the things, as long as Twitter lasts. Who knows now? But
did you pay your $8?
I did not pay. Hell no.
Do you know what I read today? This is going to take us over time, but I read this thing. I think it was from like the Florida Man page on Instagram or something, that Elon Musk confirmed that there were Twitter employees in the past who'd been taking things like $15,000 under the table so that the person could get their blue verification mark.
No.
Yeah.
Way. I don't know why I'm surprised. That's not surprising at all, but also wild.
$15,000 and people mad about paying $8. But also, why are we paying $8 for free speech? I mean,
I can't. No, I don't care enough. I don't.
Yeah.
I'll figure out another way to advertise myself. I don't know. I'll start an OnlyFans first. Like that's where that's going.
gleefully skim.
Hello. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I was gonna do more like an astronaut theme and call it like astronauty. And I would like wear an astronaut helmet.
Y'all are
You know what I'm
getting like
saying?
the back, the
I know.
behind the scenes.
Wait, I'm not supposed to say that because now if you see it, you're going to know who I am. I guess I just defeated the purpose. But it's a good idea.
Yeah.
And I've got the OnlyFans just in case. It's there set up. My username is in just in case I need to use it.
Just in case. I love that.
You never know.
Good. You've always got a plan.
Listen,
Plan B, plan C.
ask and ye shall receive. Jesus provides. And he gave me all this. So I'll just, I don't know what I'm even saying right now. $4.99. Subscribe now.
To astronauty.
To astronauty. But I'll be doing that before I get my Twitter verification for sure. That was the moral of that story.
Fantastic.
You know.
Well, thank you for coming and joining us here at Vision One Media. We've been so honored to have you.
Thank you for having me.
And make sure that if you are not following us on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook, that you go and follow Vision One Media. And we're going to have more artist shout-outs coming out. We've always got all of our events on our social media. We've got amazing events happening in Atlanta and other cool artists to chat to. So we'd love to see you guys around. Make sure you like and click subscribe and all of those good. Do it.
Do it.
Peace.